Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, ImperialDane, and today it's going to be a 1 versus 1 on this Angoville with me, your host, ImperialDane. I already said that, never mind. Slightly too much going on in my head at the moment. I apologize, but nonetheless, Master of Propaganda, here is Reich, Defender of the Fatherland, here to entertain you, my wonderful and incredibly handsome viewers. And of course we are going to be fighting in the fields of Angoville. Have a regular map with its sort of, well, rather recognizable map sort of division of things. And who shall be fighting? Well, in the northern corner we shall be watching Fokewulf 190. Yes, indeed, Fokewulf. We've already seen her a few times fighting against Vlad. Not Vlad, Vlad. Vlad, of course, not being German, so of course his name will not be pronounced Vlad. But there you go. Fokewulf 190 fighting for the 29th Infantry Division. Going up against him shall be, my goodness, it's ImperialDane, that rascal. And yes, indeed, this is going to be a fight between me and him. Fighting for the Wehrmacht, fighting for the 17th SS Panzergrenadier Division Kurz von Berlichingen, the only Panzergrenadier Division to actually fight on the Western Front for a very long time, actually. And it also had the distinction of being the, I believe, the only SS Division to only fight on the Western Front. Come on, for some reason my mouse seems to be double left clicking, which of course means it starts and begins, and Fokewulf's sort of happily surprised. Wehrmacht quarters up. I mean, so far the usual stuff. Again, no, this sort of placement of structures. Barracks at the edge, Wehrmacht quarters at the edge, this sort of position you're usually expecting to actually head out to. And I'm doomed. And yes, of course, some might be wondering, why are you saying that? Well, I suppose because I'm never always 100% confident in myself, plus I suppose it's a bit more disarming, and I suppose it's also nice and then saying, I'm going to give you a jackboot enema, American pig. So of course there's also that. Volksgrenadier, the sort of usual thing I go for. I do prefer the more infantry sort of heavy strategy. I mean, I just like Wehrmacht infantry, I suppose. And of course also focusing both pioneers on the left hand side, and he's doing the same with his engineers, which is a bit more unusual. Americans do prefer to sort of spread out here and of course take as much territory on both sides of the map, usually, you know, lighter forces, and again, this is where most Wehrmacht players go, and then sort of, you know, seizing the entire eastern half. Again, that's what usually most American players do. I mean, again, Wehrmacht players either tend to go heavily here, or here some will spread out, but I mean, usually, and this is certainly true for the higher tiers, you know, ranking, again, they sort of focus on one side. Just a bit of joking right there. To sort of perhaps, you know, also galvanize himself. But there we go, Riflemen are out, and they are in fact heading towards the east, and of course Riflemen do have a much faster ability to seize territory. Engineers attacking at the pioneers, but Volksgrenadiers are moving in. And already at this sort of phase I'm sort of worrying, will he be sort of charging at me? Will he be having Riflemen there? How much time do I have before the assault? Sort of moving the pioneers slightly farther away, so the engineers can't quite as easily hit them. And I'm actually sort of here flowing a bit of resources early on the game, not good, but that's basically because I sort of forgot. But there we go, Volksgrenadiers is immediately on the way. Volksgrenadiers is laying down some sandbags, you know, in case again, this sort of American assault. Always be prepared. But Fokewulf going straight for the fuel, not unusual. This area is sort of being secured, and then we move onwards to a bit of barbed wire to sort of protect this flank a bit, making it a bit harder for him to sort of swing about here in my, what I imagine is going to be sort of my central position right about here. So again, I mean, barbed wire serves in that position, but sandbags going down at the same time, you know, again, if the Americans decide to attack over there, there's going to be a bit of cover. Volksgrenadiers arriving, moving out for the fatherland, and immediately running into some nasty Americans. Finding away with the Kar-98Ks and the STD-44 in single fire mode. Opening up. And immediately one bites dust, hitting the gut, but still alive. Volksgrenadiers still sitting out. Flanking, of course, again, remember, cover is directional. So in this case, the Riflemen won't be enjoying much of their cover. And an MG-42 moving up. Engineers moving right in there. Pioneers retreating. Riflemen pulling slightly ever back. And quickly moving in to deal with those engineers trying to deny the Wehrmacht its glorious fuel. And engineers versus Volksgrenadiers not quite doing well there. MG-42 moving up. Fokewulf might be finally moving over some more troops towards the west. And most of the fighting so far is going on. And quickly getting those riflemen, the devil, out of there. Not quite fancying a hailstorm of MG42 bullets up his back. And another move in there, and looks like he's trying a deep flank, I suppose you'd call that, trying to sneak through here. And of course, that is something that American players can do and usually will do. Which is also again why this is sort of the more dangerous place to sort of be. Flanking though, or well, sort of flanking, if you could call that, with the MG42. Rifleman sneaking in from the rear. And I sort of spotted, due to again these sort of units right here, so quickly moving in, my folks going to have to protect the rather exposed flank of my MG42. Otherwise I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. And sending up some pioneers at the same time to sort of do a bit of harassment right there. Flaps being silly though, hang on. And back to the fight. Volksgrenadier team pushed off though. Riflemen pushing on though, taking some losses there and are being forced away, but that doesn't stop some engineers from rushing in with flamethrowers at the Volksgrenadiers in heavy cover, just with not enough range for the Volksgrenadiers to do enough. Riflemen are pinned down. Oh dear. Engineers are taking some losses though, and might be forced away on their own. Yes, indeed, they really need to actually get out of there now. Fokewulf, never mind. Fokewulf lost the engineers. Riflemen there are for some reason still pinned down. In fact, they now managed to get just suppressed, allowing them to move forwards again. And once more trying to cover the flanks as Fokewulf once more pushes. Pioneers and Volksgrenadiers flying away. Heavy losses again, note the sort of danger of Volksgrenadiers and Pioneer coming up close, and there we go, grenade! Oh dear. Several went down there. But that was so far an alright fight for me, although for Fokewulf, I mean, he probably wished he'd done better.
Yes, comrade.
Skirmish phase up. And the 17th SS, besides, you know, being one of the only Panzer Grenadier division again for a long time on the Western Front from 1944 to 1945, being the only SS division to really only be on the Western Front, it also had this sort of distinction of not really being the most well-trained SS division either, and certainly not the sort of elite SS unit either. Although I suppose it still got the advanced benefits, like say, you know, increased regimental sizes, because again an SS division would have a regiment with 3 battalions, whereas a regular Wehrmacht division would only have 2 battalions in a regiment, thus meaning in fact that essentially, in comparison, of that SS unit would have had 3 regiments, if you could consider it like that. Riflemen they were moving in, advancing on the Pioneers, forcing them away, managing to render that fuel point neutral. Hussar. Kriegberg's going up, and flaps does seem a bit uncooperative. My apologies. My most sincere apologies, but advancing. MP40 is being equipped, just in case, to deter some Americans from doing anything silly. MP40 bullets have proven to be effective in deterring Americans from silliness. But forces are reinforcing. Flamethrower Pioneers ready as well. And deciding to sort of conduct an assault from numerous sides. Volksgrenadiers moving in from the western half of the map. Thankfully, Fokewulf has not mined this. And again, this spot is not very unusually mined quite often. Grenades getting lobbed at the MP40s right at the path, but he throws a bit too far. Only one Volksgrenadier goes down. Riflemen taking some losses, but the Volksgrenadiers do end up on the wrong side. Pioneers now rushing in fact forcing away the Riflemen with flamethrower and MP40. And I'm sort of wondering, should I be going for a pack or should I be going for Grenadiers? And again, sort of thinking, well, he's gone for grenades. I figure I might actually go for some Grenadiers instead of that pack. I said Grenadiers. Come on, Dane. Don't be silly. Don't make yourself look, you know, awkward. We are at the same time also seeing a weapons support center going up for Fokewulf. Quite interesting, quite interesting. Still not changing. Might actually go fully for that pack. Could be. Could be just... Oh dear, silly part is actually recently played that. Out of the way. More barbed wire going down again to sort of make things a bit easier for the MD40 to protect itself. Running these sort of more direct paths. Bunker going up. Intentionally forgetting a medic bunker to sort of support again this sort of long-term fighting. Notch things in my direction, of course. Note that he has absolutely no medic station. Instead, he's actually gone for an observation post on the fuel point. Quite interestingly enough. Rarely see that, although in this case, I'm not entirely sure I would have gone for that. I think it might have been a bit too exposed at this stage of the fighting. Once more, flamethrower and MP40 moving forward. A small little assault detachment, in fact. taking up position in the house. MP40 Volksgrenadiers moving up, but they're actually getting quite shot up by the Rifleman Game Edge 21 in the process. MP40 Volksgrenadiers taking heavy losses, grenades on the Pioneers, not killing anyone, but doing quite some heavy damage, forcing away those Pioneers as well. Medic Bunker does get the upgrade. And Volksgrenadiers, oh fraps, stop doing that. And back to the action, Rifle moving in here. But only one team versus two teams of Volksgrenadiers and the MG42. Rather than running any attempt by Fokewulf to really push through there, but he is securing this area. Might be an idea to sort of perhaps attempted to mine this area. I think could have done him some good. There we go, Grenadiers on the way. Pioneers and Volksgrenadiers getting ready to push again. Now with the aid of more Volksgrenadiers leaving behind the MG42, but again, the sort of amount of barbed wire does leave me confident I can pull through there. And grenade at the Volksgrenadiers retreat. And more grenades, quite a few grenades there. Another retreat. That's giving him a slight advantage right here once more. But another push. Now with flamethrower and MP40. And the riflemen end up getting pushed away. And again, fraps, hang on. And trying again. Hopefully with better results. Otherwise, fraps is going to get a jackboot enema. Again, reinforcing Fokewulf now with a motor pool up. And immediately setting up, saying about that observation post. In this case, I'm actually worried he might be going for a tank depot, in which case, of course, a tank rush could end up rather problematically for me. If you can particularly keep up the pressure in some way. Come on, fraps. And once more back to the fighting. And instead, turns out, though, he's gone for the M8s. I'm still lacking a bit in a response, though. I can quickly rush over my pack, I suppose, and of course, there's the Panzerfaust. Ever the Panzerfaust, there we go, nice hit. And indeed sneaking up there, cutting the wire. While here, Riflemen are getting stopped by a Volksgrenadier Pioneer combo. Getting a second pack, though this piece of grenade, I was sort of, again, worrying that he might be rushing for Germans. Actually, time to go look at Fokewulf's side. No doctrine from him, nor from me either. I was a bit still unsure what to go for. Should I go for Blitzkrieg or should I go for Terror? Second M8 has swiftly arrived, also getting armored skirts. He's not bothering with the 50 calibers. And of course he's swiftly moving sides, in fact, which could actually do quite a bit of damage to me. Because again, my pack's now elsewhere. So deft little Fokewulf right there. But quickly moving onwards, nothing to keep me behind. Interesting enough, he did have something going on in that weapon support center earlier, but it looks like he actually cancelled it. Still, he's holding actually sort of most of the map. Well, at the same time, he's certainly been taking a beating or two. M8 once more moves up, now getting the 50 caliber. And another Panzerfaust. The Panzerfaust, though, in case of Normandy, wasn't actually as widely available as it was in later stages of the war. There were some divisions which were sorely lacking. Me trying to lay down a pack mine there, but I do believe I decide otherwise later on. Yes, indeed, cancel it. Rifleman going at the Volksgrenadiers, looking to get a grenade in, and Pack firing away at the M8 and misses. At the same time, Rifleman moving in here, right into the MG42 again. Volksgrenadiers moving up to support. And the M8 moves in, right into the Pack, and right into range of Panzerfaust, and the Pack just keeps on missing. I mean, I have absolutely the most rotten luck when it comes to packs. First shot hits, everything else just seems to miss, as if though the pack gunner somehow made a raid and stole all the apple schnapps in a 100-mile radius.
Victory point under siege. The Germans are moving in.
Upgrade complete.
But getting more grenadiers, and might also be getting some from that medic bunker, which does sort of catch up some of the wounded. And now we're in fact going to be something out with the weapons support, and we're seeing a sniper. He's going to push on a little better by that. Might also be sort of trying to sort of perhaps catch the pack gunners, clear out the crews, and of course the MG42. And of course I might be a bit unprepared for a sniper, to put it mildly. But more grenadiers have arrived for the 17th SS. And sending about for a larger flank right here. Grenading, but getting out of grenade range, and rifle moving up on the eastern flank as well. Sniper moving in. He doesn't actually hit anything, but still, I know. I heard the sort of crack there of the sniper rifle. And I do know I'm in trouble, because I seem to do terribly against snipers. But running right into a lot of heavy fire. Looks like, oh dear, these riflemen could in fact be going down. Oh, that was terrible for Fokewulf. A bit unfortunate there. Grenade on these riflemen as well.
Territory out of supply.
Nicely done by these grenadiers. And M8 moves in, though has to be careful. There's a pack nearby. And quite the nasty hit there from the pack crew. But sticks to the bocage and then creeps out. And just in case, I've actually mined this area. You know, if he decides to sort of try and flank about the pack 38. But someone gets sniped. Part of me wants to rush the sniper and deal with him that way, but then again I sort of figure he might actually just rush right into empty range. And I figure instead I'll get my own sniper. Yes indeed, ImperialDane is actually getting a sniper. And actually getting to the mid-game analysis part. What is the situation? Well, I'm holding most of the victory points, but I'm not really holding most of the map. I have sort of given him a beating, but still, Fokewulf with his 2 M8s does hold the initiative, and if he still pulls this off, probably he could still actually deliver some vicious blow here. I mean, for example, one pack could easily get outmaneuvered if it's supported by a rifleman and a sniper, and thus, I mean, could do a lot of damage. I mean, either here or there. Although in this case, due to the open terrain, it might actually sort of benefit the benefit the armored cars a bit more, and sort of allow him to sort of sneak about there. At least that would be one interpretation of it. Of course, he might also have done well with the medic station early on, and such considerations. Of course, the situation for me, I mean, I know there's a sniper getting one of my own. Of course, at the same time, I might want to also have a Krieg barracks, getting some veterancy. Might consider either getting more veterancy for the infantry, or perhaps going for the Sturm Army, perhaps getting some armoured cars, perhaps getting a Puma. Let's return to the fight. Let's see how this evolves.
Repairs complete.
But Fokewulf certainly still has the initiative. Sniper now moving over towards the east. Seemingly shifting a bit from east to west, so it's a bit harder for me to sort of judge where he might be striking with the sniper yet, and of course also make it a bit harder for me to actually prepare any counter-sniper movements. And getting the pioneers right away, and the M8 immediately kills the second pioneer. Fult's going to rush in. And the pack again just misses. More grenades, more MP45, heavy losses for the riflemen. Need to get out of there. Rifleman, Fult's going to get bites. It does. Looks like the rifleman does get out of there. Second rifleman team also needs to consider rather severely getting out of there as well. And sadly, the M8s weren't really pulled into this assault, but now they are moving forwards again. Rushing away some pioneers. And getting Panzerfaust, getting the gunner even, and then the M8 gets vengeance by getting a false grenadier. It looks like the second M8 is getting ready to sort of flank up on the western flank. And just pulls out of Panzerfaust range. Sniper joining in again. Complete chaos as my infantry is getting killed. And the pack might actually get sniped, but no, wait. Oh dear. Pack crew does get killed. Being behind the false grenadiers to deal with that and the M8. And that's less good. And me being a bit annoyed about that. Again, the sort of pack gunners having had too much apple schnapps. Apparently not realizing this is a war. Grenadiers having been slightly pulled back here, in fact to a sort of more reactionary stage in case, you know, he attacks either from here or here, then they can sort of better react rather than they were at the front line. So sort of as opposed to a very, very tactical reserve for this side of the map. Sniper joins in. And of course I decide to move in my own sniper and get that damn kill. And finally at least get to kill something, since I can't seem to get those bloody packs. And also note, he's actually been laying down mines there. Greyhound mine, in fact, I think. And yes, heavy losses. Grenadiers almost wiped out. But they do manage to get out there. And I mean, it's a very common trick to sort of, you know, lay down a Greyhound mine right in front of a pack, in fact. And more sniper fire. Also continuing a bit here in the west, but both attention are in fact right here at the moment. And again, nothing happening there. Mortars actually come up for Fokewulf. No further upgrades so for his infantry. No BARs though, that could really have helped Fokewulf, I think. And he's floating 5 command points. There's Grand. He's not trying to recruit the pack, he's not trying to take it away from the Wehrmacht, from the 17th SS Panzergrenadier Division. And now we are seeing a bit of action here in the west, moving up with his American sniper. Getting a false grenadier. And now something's happening. And now, will I get him? No, I miss. I absolutely miss. And I'm a bit upset about that. Although it doesn't get any farther than that abbreviation. So don't worry, gentlemen. There shall be no harsh language. But an armored car ready. Usually I'm not going for Stug first. In this case, rather figure an armored car might provide me with a slightly more mobile unit. And in fact, I'm also upgrading it to the Puma. Thus also having something that perhaps can actually kill those goddamn greyhounds. But a larger assault going in here. Thankfully, he's not gone airborne, though. Otherwise, a strafing right could really do some nasty damage there. And there we go. 50mm gun up and really doing some nice hits. The Puma gun is actually quite accurate. And getting off a good hit on the M8. And the sniper reveals himself right in front of the armored car. That could be less great. And getting veterancy 1 though decreases damage taken. I'd certainly say that's also very commendable for any of your vehicles. Rangers have arrived. And the sniper, oh dear, will the Puma get the sniper? Yes indeed. Killed by a 50mm high explosive shell. Rangers to advance and a forced retreat allow me to get my armored car to safety, my Puma, and get it repaired.
Our front lines are collapsing.
Mortar having also pulled up, but it just seems to be beyond range to actually help. I mean, remember an American mortar is not quite as far ranged. It does need to be a bit closer to the front line to actually do some damage, but then again, it actually does more damage than a Wehrmacht mortar. Fun fact. At least it does more damage to infantry. Against your buildings, though, it actually does less.
Initiating defensive operations.
Armored cars getting repaired once more, but with a bit more infantry now, in Rangers included. No supply and upgrades, though, and still no medic stations. And he probably could have done well with one, probably about right here. Just like my medic bunker right about here is serving me reasonably well.
Allies are down to 3.
And it is returned to me with another armored car on the way. And Rangers continuing under the cover of mortar fire. And then the Puma hits a Greyhound mine right in the middle of everything. That was absolutely unexpected. And of course that places me in a slight dilemma as now he rushes in with his armored cars, hoping to get the Puma, but somehow I actually get an M8. And now more fire though, Pack and Puma firing, even some Panzerfaust try to attempt it, but no. The M8 refuses to die. It even gets the Puma. And it dodges the Pack 38 right as it's right in front of the nose of the Pack 38. At the same time, a larger assault goes in. MG42 has been cleared out. Armored car rushes in, but actually gets damaged somehow. I think it might have been a mortar round clearing out the engine. Pack 38 gets rushed for the propaganda war. Does manage to turn away some of the riflemen, but the Pack still gets sorted out. Riflemen No, he recruited with a... Oh dear, he might just have been killed right before. That was unfortunate. Sniper continues firing. Rangers hunting down the armored car, hoping to get it. An absolute chaos reigns on the Western Front, but Volkskrone are quickly counter-attacking. Those Americans will not make away with that pack. Not on their watch. And the Rangers hoping to knock out that armored car, desperately trying to get away, but with a damaged engine. And more Rangers arrive. Now Fokewulf hoping for the Rangers to really lead the way out of this Wehrmacht valley of woe.
We're under fire, my God!
And the Rangers are finally pushed away though. But slowly encroaching, slowly gaining more and more of the map. Getting a replacement armored car.
Puma, heavy recon deployed.
To replace the 2 lost, and that was certainly quite a loss, but I do manage to grab 1 American mortar. American sniper also continuing to advance.
Our opponent
bastard.
has 200 points.
Yes, sir. On your feet! We don't have all day!
But quickly retreating units, quickly taking point. Might also be an idea to salvage some more munitions from these wrecks. Grenadiers coming under attack. Getting sniped. Veterans you want for this sniper. And the armored car once more moving up. MG42 has not been taken. And I think that might actually have done the American commander a bit more, Mr. Fokewulf, if it actually tried to take that. Would really make things a bit more difficult for me.
Listen! Who shall we wake up?
Nebelwerfer getting prepared at the same time. But Rangers moving in to flank. Armored car once more getting hit by those bazooka rockets, taking quite a bit of damage, pulling it out of there.
Yes, comrade.
But mortar is ready. Granatenwerfer.
They're losing territory.
Rangers pushing on. Force retreat stops one team again, saving the day, but coming one flank. Almost suppose, considering I only get really 1 unit at a time, I might have been better to get an officer and basically just have him use it. But hindsight is always so fun to have. And the M8 once more rushes in. Pack gets off some good shots. And once more the M8 basically gets away. Crew getting sniped. Nebelwerfer fire though, shattering the rifle on the flank. And the armored car hoping to get the sniper. Yes, he does. And so far the sniper hasn't actually done any real counter-sniping. Much to my dismay. I lost it like a fool. It comes most melancholy from Fokewulf. Clearly not entirely enthused by this situation, and I suppose I can't blame him. Certainly a bit of a shadow of the force he originally had. Some rangers, a few riflemen, 1 armored car, and some engineers with a flamethrower, and I'm slowly gaining more and more of the map. So when you look at it like that, yes, I suppose so. And again, trying this sort of LMG-42 approach for my grenadiers, boosting their firepower greatly. Theoretically, of course, I'm still a bit unsure. Though again, I have also seen it do quite a bit of damage. Sniper fires away. Of course, I'm still worried might there be another sniper out. And he's actually going for the howitzer. He's going for the howitzer. All the things to go for. And a mine of my own stopped the rifleman. And this actually finished off Fokewulf's last rifleman team. Rangers charging in, submachine guns blazing. And running into heavy automatic fire from the MP40s. Volkskrone barely survived the grenade. Grenadiers firing away. The LMG actually getting a few kills. So I suppose that wasn't all bad, although only 2 kills, and we don't know if all were according to the LMG. But howitzer is ready. A bit of artillery to blast those crowds out. And where does he fire? I have no idea. That one did mystify me a bit. And looks like someone thinks it's cool to walk around with a Panzerfaust on their chest. Stop being silly, Hans. What if it actually goes off? Wrong doctrine, apparently. Although, then again, what would have the right doctrine been? I mean, I suppose airborne could have helped him. Your strafing runs against my infantry. Airborne infantry would also have been quite useful, I suppose. Of course, you might also have gone armor, either gun a Calliope or a Pershing. And certainly a Pershing at this stage would be quite the nasty surprise. Then again, I suppose also wonder, why did he go for the right-hand side? You know, for the howitzer. It might actually be better for him to go for the off-map combat group and hope for that to save the day. And the Grenadier team gets reformed. M8 right in front of the pack, but again managed to drive around it. Rangers moving in. Gaining veterancy too, clearing out the pack crew. And what's more, another Puma moves up bravely with support from Fokewulf Grenadiers. It's an ugly game. I suppose I'm here asking, you know, if I can cast it, and he's obviously not very pleased. I can't blame him. Still, I figured why not. Been casting some pretty intensive games for all week, so I figured, you know, something perhaps not quite as long. And so on. 5 kills to the Puma. Forced retreat. Saving the Puma once more. Königstiger almost ready to be called in. And actually getting the student moving, since I actually had forgotten about that. Not set at a waypoint, that was slightly more advantageous. Puma moving in, hoping to get that armored car, but no, it cannot kill it. That Greyhound just refuses to die. And its own main gun gets wrecked. Mine gets hit, Sturmgeschütz moves in. And Grenadiers quickly clear out those engineers. And I believe that is it. Game over, out of victory. Points of victory for the 17th SS. Despite Fokewulf's best intentions of preventing that. And of course the question then becomes, I mean, sort of what could we learn from this? And the sort of problem for Fokewulf, you know, was partly, I mean, it was sort of a mix of good and bad luck. I mean, his M8s really, you know, constantly kept avoiding death by my packs, by my Panzerfaust, and by everything else, I suppose. Whereas, of course, his infantry on their hand had some bad luck. I mean, he really tried some great gambles, but he never quite pulled it off. And the problem was then he wasn't quite quick enough to actually get out of those situations when they did go wrong. Which I suppose was one of his major problems. There wasn't enough mining either, for example. This would have been a great spot to mine, for example, with the Greyhound. And he did go down with a few Greyhound mines, but never any more, really, either. And BARs would have been a great choice, but never quite happened. Medic station, never quite happened. Supply upgrade, never quite happened. And of course, there's supposed the doctrinal choice. So I mean, there's a lot of things there. I mean, again, you know, medic bunker certainly provided me, I believe, with about 2 Grenadier teams. Not a bad thing at all. 2 Grenadier teams, yes. Of course, armor cars do nicely, but of course, you know, again, be careful with them. And I certainly got a bit eager. But at the same time, I mean, a Puma, for example, upgrade does nicely, and of course was able to get 1 sniper, so I suppose that was also quite lovely. But there you go. I do hope you enjoyed this game. I do hope you learned something from it. If you did, why not subscribe to your friends? And if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own? This is ImperialDane saying cheers.